The governments are teaching the world, but people are refusing to learn from what the governments are showing them and teaching them on purpose, over and over again. Humanity cannot go any farther forward now in a positive way until everyone learns from what is being taught to them. All people on the world will have to learn to change, and all people will have to learn to become part of the only solution to the created problems of this world. Then after people can start to learn from the governments, they will need to help in the process of teaching to others what must be learned in order to create mass awareness of the solution. A little about myself that backs up what I say, and which shows my knowledge of the governments and what they really are. Also, please remember that after you read everything, bear in mind that the government in over 20 odd years and counting of my vast publicly shown interactions with them, they have never been able to prove or show that I've lied once in order to dismiss me off. Hence why I put everything online for people to scrutinize it all. My book, Vast, Provable, and Ignored English Government Corruption, dated August 4th, 2020, has covered over 20 years of the government actively engaging in corruption at every juncture, and this is continuing whilst the book is being covered up. I've directly sourced truth backed up with evidence which I've shown publicly on my Facebook, Sean Grenier, every step of the way, ever since my book, and I have videos on my TikTok with the website at fightthelies.co.uk. Over the last 2 years, I've had it confirmed who a lot of the government's members and servants really are. Some of them are a shock to people, like the government's controlled media that are used against the people, like all government servants are. Also, the government's lying actors who fool the people to make them believe that they are a royal family. But these are just pathological lying criminals who have given themselves and others self-important titles to appoint themselves above others with their lies. No one is above anyone. I have revealed the pretend royal family's part in the government's crimes and cover-up crimes against the people by putting the evidence out publicly into the government's self-appointed, self-created, and fully controlled criminal law, i.e., in their High Court, London. But like with everything else I've shown, it's being covered up. I've also shown in recent times that all royal family members' secretaries were given instructions to block my emails so that they stopped receiving the evidence of their crimes. It's too late now, though. The actors pretending to be a royal family and their agents have been publicly shown to be a part of the government, and the governments have already admitted in their High Court, London, on June 21st, 2021, that they have been reading my social media and stated that they are unhappy that I'm showing their vast and still ongoing crimes to them. So all is watched and seen by the government all of the time. I have a duty to the people to help inform them with directly sourced evidence, the truth, and the importance of the truth on all of the matters contained here, as truth is the most important thing now going forward for this world. Everything I show and say is backed up by my said book's contents from 2 years ago, and everything since is. I've added to my Facebook page as it happened. I will now go on to the most important matter that I have been involved in on behalf of the people over the previous 2 years as it relates to what has happened to everyone on this world. What is happening on the world? This world has been created purely on lies, on purpose, and everything bad in this world was created out of lies. It's been created in this way to be learned from. Life is meant to be about learning from bad in order to create better. But people haven't been learning and have merely decided to just exist, whilst becoming bad products of their created for them world of lies. At the same time, these actors convince us that those appointees have been incompetent when it comes to management, particularly where it concerns money. This is far from true. The government criminal organizations pretend to be elected in by the people, but can't be unelected or removed when they lie or commit crimes. These intelligent, well-educated people act stupid to fool the people to believe they are inept. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. The governments have shown on purpose that they have created lies for their wars and lies for everything else that they've appointed themselves in control of. There is no real law on this world created on lies, because the pathological lying government criminal organizations have appointed themselves in full control of their self-created criminal system, their criminal's law, which is a crime against real law that's based on truth and fairness. I have publicly shown countless times the government's criminal law system with their pathological lying and non-stop crimes and cover-up crimes against myself. And now I'm showing that these same crimes are being committed against the people. The governments have even shown the people that it doesn't matter who people vote for, as it's all an illusion to fool the people into thinking that they have a say in matters of government. All government members/servants are all knowingly part of the pathological, lying government criminal organization that's full of actors to fool the people. The government's criminal enforcers, i.e. police, have even admitted via an email dated December 22nd, 2021, to knowingly covering up past crimes, see my book, and now crimes towards the people, whilst also stating that they will ignore and cover up all future evidence of crimes that I send them. See my pinned post on Facebook. Everything I state now has been entered into the government's High Court, London. All the while, everything I've stated has been completely covered up by the said criminals who control the pretend law. All of this has been CC emailed to government members and servants, including the pretend royal family actors, government media, and their chief criminal enforcers, i.e. police, etc., etc. Apart from the said email dated December 22nd, 2021, none of the persons or bodies have responded, which demonstrates that they have all covered it up. And I've shown that they have continued this behavior ever since. So after demonstrating my vast experiences publicly and seeing the self-serving criminal systems lie and commit cover-up crimes with none of them ever saying no to the government ordering them to do it, is it any wonder why this is such a bad world? And why it's happening to everyone? Government servants commit the same criminal acts systematically, even though they are only ever being asked to do so by the government. And now the governments are clearly showing to the people all of their created lies on purpose, while showing their government servants for what they really are, i.e. criminals, knowingly working for criminals for money, whilst being asked to commit pathological lying and premeditated crimes and cover up crimes against their loved ones and the people, and none say no and go along with everything at the minimum. These government servants cannot refute a word of the truth that I say, as it's fully provable with vast publicly shown evidence as they know and have seen. These government servants are stupid people because they direct their anger towards me for exposing what they really are, when I'm only helping the governments and showing what they are. The governments have deliberately and publicly exposed their government servants in general by calling them heroes and key workers, with even getting people to clap for some of them. And then they have deliberately turned on them by saying some of them have to have their injections. These injections were for the pre-planned, coordinated campaign of fear by all governments against the people, and a crime. So not only have the governments lied about the injections being vaccines, but they have then exposed those servants who have stayed quiet about what they actually are. All of the pathologically lying governments decided to come together to display their pre-planned, staged Wuhan scenes through their media to put fear on the people whilst giving zero evidence, and was part of a plan to change the world. I watched all the governments enact the exact same behavior towards the people on the world that I've been experiencing for 20-odd years. When all governments refused public inquiries into the Wuhan scenes to cover up their staged lies against the people, this behavior correlated exactly to the government refusing me a public inquiry into the crimes and cover-up crimes detailed in my book, which are fully provable, just like the fabrication of the Wuhan scenes are. I've proven by now what the governments really are: pathologically lying, self-appointed criminal organizations created on lies. I'm showing that the governments are revealing this created world of lies on purpose, by a process of slow disclosure in order to be learned from. Scenes we were shown of government and their servants being under no fear whatsoever, with constant breaking their own rules on purpose. G7, Matt Hancock, etc., the Downing Saints Christmas party, all of which the government media allowed to be seen almost a year later on purpose, all reveal that the government are showing their lies in clear view. The fact that there were no forced injections when this could easily have been implemented through their servants and pressure through their own family members also demonstrate that it is the purpose of these events to teach, not to oppress. That's what's being taught now by the governments and myself, and everyone has to teach each other in order to end this bad world built on lies and start the new, better world based on truth. I watched the governments all behave in the same coordinated way together towards the people to show their divisions between them were lies, with all using their media to put fear on everyone on the world, whilst no government gave any evidence behind those fears. This is because no government needed to investigate the Wuhan scenes, as they were the government's combined, pre-planned, staged fear and lies, crimes against the people, and they have never been shown since. The evidence: my first criminal application, dated December 3rd, 2021, has been ignored and covered up by the government and their members/servants and the High Court. In High Court hearing on March 22nd, 2022, it was mentioned and refused to be spoken of by the judge who knew of it. My second criminal application entered into Bodmin Magistrates Court on April 4th, 2022, against the government chief's criminal enforcer of Devon and Cornwall Police, Sean Sawyer, for his admittance in covering up these said crimes against the people and covering up my book's contents, i.e. said email dated December 22nd, 2021. My third criminal application, dated June 6, 2022, is in regards to the cover-up crime of the first criminal application. I have served two of these criminal applications on the police on video, which are mainly being viewed on TikTok, as that platform are not suppressing me currently. But you can see all of this evidence on my Facebook and on its pinned post. I have had to do the only thing I can do in criminals law, which is the criminal applications, because although police are meant to do it, they've refused, as they have been covering up throughout. What everyone now has to learn from this, in order to begin the changes needed to start teaching and removing this bad world that was created on lies on purpose. We're being shown what everyone gets if they keep wanting lies in their lives and wanting lies from other people. We now exist in a world of created belief systems where we form our opinions and allegiances through literature and media which present no evidence, and these have created the divisions we find now between people in a world created on lies on purpose. People believe through these created lies that they should do nothing and wait for saviors to solve the world's problems, and do not learn from what is being taught to them by the governments, with created lie after lie shown to them on purpose. People together will now have to unlearn everything that they've been taught and believe in a world created on lies on purpose to be learned from, before a better world created on truth can happen. We all have to work together to remove lies now. People on this world have resigned themselves to just purely exist in this bad world created for them out of lies, rather than learning from it in order to create better. Life is about learning from bad in order to create better. But the problem with people is that they just become bad products of their created for them environment, and we don't want anything better. People have been fully indoctrinated from birth into this world that's been created out of lies. Governments have self-appointed themselves in control of everything and everyone, and are teaching a bad world created on lies in the only way they can, by continuously creating lie after lie and then showing them to be lies. You can't teach a world created on lies with truth. The governments created all of their criminal systems on lies deliberately. This fact is fully exhibited by the staged Wuhan scenes and everything since. The governments know that the only way you can change a world of lies that isn't being learned from by everyone is by all governments combining to create fear, lies, crimes against the people that will ultimately remove all governments when the time is right to disclose the truth to the people. So the governments are going to create lie after lie on purpose until people want truth instead of lies. People must demand evidence before accepting what they're told by known lying governments. When we all start to demand truth, the new, better world for all created out of truth will manifest, and this bad one will become history that can't be repeated. We all need to be part of the spreading of the truth of the situation that we are all in order to create mass awareness of the only solution, which is truth. Fight the lies by highlighting truth.